Hey everyone, it's CR7 here, and welcome to the second race of Season 5 of the CR7 Fleet Car Series. And the previous race ended with Old School taking the win, but just a bit earlier before that, there was an accident with him, I think before the final segment, where the driver of Old School was actually thrown from the car somehow, but he was okay and then won the race afterwards. He self-medicated his injuries, or self-diagnosed his injuries, and he says that he is cleared to race. So he basically cleared himself to race because he's a doctor. Anyways, the track is now fully prepared for some action. So, let's get started. And the pole sitter will be Old School. So, as always, the previous race winner is the pole sitter in the following race. So, let us commence fourth on the second race. Oh, Old School goes in a bit hot there. I'm guessing he got a little excited for this one, that he went too fast and hit the wall there and flipped over. The other cars will have to be careful going through there. Already some odd events happening. So there's Old School going in a bit hot on the first run. Here's the out of bounds area. Let me get the camera straighten up here. If the car hits this floor, that means he's out of bounds, or it's out of bounds. The safety team is on standby, of course. I'm just gotta figure out who's in the lead here. Looks to be hatch number, actually it's Greenish that's in the lead. Just by a little bit. Old School will get his car right back, but first here is Greenish. Oh, he almost flipped all the way out of bounds there, but he is up on his side. Definitely be careful. Here's hatch number 1. And he hits the door frame, trying to avoid Greenish, who is overturned. Here is multi-car number 2. He backs into the out of bounds transition. Here is half and half. And he nudges Greenish out of bounds. He is done for the day. Unfortunate end for Greenish, toppling over like that. Here's hatch number 2. Ooh, the track must be extra slick today, as hatch number 2 flips all the way over and loses his rear end assembly. Here's multi-car number 1. Nudging half and half. Here is Shadow. Bumps into the servered back bumper of hatch number 2's car. Here is Whiteout. Hatch number 2's car moves a little bit. Here's Old School, who overturned to start the race. And he too loses his rear bumper. Let's see who is next, and it will be Darkened who is next, who doesn't have a single win in the Fleet Car Series. The Darkened entry doesn't have a win. Let's see if he can change that today. He punts the rear end of hatch number 2's car off the racing surface. Here's hatch number 3. Shadow's car. Here's multi-car number 3. Not sure if I said multi-car number 3 twice there. Here's multi-car number 4. Just a brick wall there. Here's Firestopper. And something goes flying there. I'll see what that is. Here's Blue Blur. Wow. It's the refrigerator and goes off frame there. He might have gotten into the next segment with that move. But here's Smasher to maybe smash his way into the next segment, if he can. And I don't think he did, but we'll see. But Greenish is out of bounds. Blue Blur took a big hit. onto the refrigerator. So, Greenish is out of bounds. His day's done. Looks like hatch number 2 will win the segment. He'll use his 1 repair only if he can. So anyways, let's get to the results of segment 1. And here are the results for segment 1. Hatch number 2 will pick up the segment 1 victory. He has used his 1 repair only. Half and Half is second. Third is Shadow. Fourth is hatch number 1. Fifth is multicolor number 1. Sixth place is Darkened. Seventh is Whiteout. Eighth is hatch number 3. Ninth, multicolor number 3. 10th is multicolor number 2. Blue Blur, 11th, and Old School will sneak into the 12th spot for segment 2. So, Firestopper, Smasher, multicolor number 4, and Greenish, who went out of bounds, all 4 of those drivers are eliminated. So, let's get into segment 2. Segment 2 and hatch number 2 will start us off. Old School takes it cautious there this time. So the ambulance on this side of the screen, it's not on frame, but it's off screen. But the safety team is just waiting for an accident to occur. It appears that looks very close for the lead here. Looks like Shadow will get the nod for first. So here he is. Perfect run there. Here is Half and Half. Whoa, that was a slow rollover by Half and Half there. Here's Old School. Nudge there. Here's hatch number 1. Didn't go as far as he thought. Here is multicolor number 1. Multicolor number 1 gives him a little help there. Here is Darkened. Good run there. Here is, let's see, Whiteout. And Half gets nudged on the roof. Here is Blue Blur. And hatch number 2, who started first in this segment. Half and Half is almost out of bounds there. Have to be careful. Here is multicolor number 3. Half and Half gets nudged on the roof yet again. Here's hatch number 3. Oof. And here's multicolor number 2 to end the segment. Let's see what Half and Half's fate is here. Wow, a hard hit. All those cars combined just created a wall for multicolor number 2. And Blue Blur looks like he's going to be eliminated again. Kind of a tough start to the season for that entry. Looks like Half and Half will hang on for dear life and win the segment. So let's get to the results. Here are the results for segment 2. Half and Half will hang on just barely to get the segment win. Hatch number 1 is second. Third is Shadow. Fourth is Old School. Fifth is multicolor number 3. Sixth is Darkened. Good day for him. Seventh is multicolor number 1. And eighth will be hatch number 2. So, hatch number 3, multicolor number 2, Whiteout, and Blue Blur are eliminated. Blue Blur is having a tough go to start the season. Hopefully he gets it turned around before it's too late. But anyways, let's get to segment 3. Segment 3, and Half will start us off. Wow, Old School went in hot again. Slamming into Shadow, I do believe. Looks like Half will be in the lead, entering the second half of segment 3. All right, let's see what we have on the platter here. Half will easily be first, so here he is. And looks like hatch number 2 will follow suit. And multi-cone number 1 will be next. And the rear bumper goes all the way to the camera there. Here's hatch number 1. And let's see who's next. It is Shadow. And Darkened. Bye-bye, multi-cone number 1. Your day is done. Old School is going to continue on without the rear end or rear bumper, so here he is. Oh, and bye-bye Old School too. 2 drivers out of bounds. Looks like the rear end gave up. And here comes multi-cone number 3 to end the segment. And he just advanced into the final segment. Good for him. Alright, so I do believe he's going to win the segment as well. See where that rear bumper hit right there. How to clean it up. Old School number 1 and Old School are eliminated. So let's get you your running order for segment 4. And here are the final 4 for race 2 of season 5. Multi-cone number 3 will be first, second is Darkened, third is Shadow, and fourth is Half and Half. So multi-cone number 1, Old School, hatch number 1, and hatch number 2 are eliminated. All the hatch cars have been wiped out. So let's get into the final segment. The fourth and final segment, and multicolor number 3 will start us off. Head-on impact there. Gives you an extended look at the out-of-bounds area. If the car touches this floor here, they're out of bounds and the day is done. So let's get into it. Who will take victory here in race 2? So Darkened will be first, multi-cone number 3 second, Shadow third, and the fourth spot will belong to Half and Half. So here is Darkened. This entry has never won in the CR7 Fleet Car Series. Let's see if he can change that today. Ooh, near perfect run. Here's multi-cone number 3. And he takes the lead. Here's Shadow. Oh, his car absolutely disintegrates upon hitting that area. And here's Half and Half. He'll have to be very careful coming back because Shadow's car just disintegrated out of nowhere. So here's Half and Half. Oh, both of their cars disintegrate. And more damage is done to both cars, especially Shadow's car. And multi-cone number 3 will win this race. But it is a junkyard over here. What a mess. And Shadow's car is severely damaged. The most damage I've ever seen it. Here's the, wow. Okay, let me come grab the camera here. But first, before that, here comes the safety team. They finally arrived. But look at this mess. 2 roll bars sitting over here. There's the seat of, I think that's Half and Half's car. That's a seat failure. That's not supposed to happen. He's pinned under the wreckage. It's not looking good for, I do believe, our most recent champion of the series. But Shadow's car, look at Shadow's car. It is in shambles. Some of the passenger side is missing. It's like the whole chassis just snapped in half. Very bizarre scenes here, but multi-cone number 3 will win the race. Another tough break for Darkened. He is once again the bridesmaid. Don't worry, that first win will come soon, I hope. But another heartbreak for Darkened. He was hoping to win the race. Multi-cone number 3 will win the race, but very scary scenes here right now over here. So we're going to get to the victory celebration and then get an update on Half and Half. And here is our race winner, multi-cone number 3, but he is not celebrating. He is more concerned for Half and Half. The driver of Old School, aka Dr. Wilkerson's over there. Even the driver of Shadow quickly hopped out of his, well, what's left of his car. And also the driver of the ambulance has gone over to the car. You can see that the seat right here actually came apart when Half and Half's car crashed down onto the out of bounds transition here, and the roll bar actually saved him for a little bit. It kind of softened the impact before it broke off. So very unfortunate situation here. Pretty scary indeed, but very messy situation here. Most car number 3 is not celebrating. Darkened is concerned as well as the other drivers. This is our reigning champion that is in this situation right now, Half and Half. This might be a really bad hangover, a championship hangover for him, but all we're concerned about is getting him out of the car and transporting him to the hospital. We're not sure if he's going to miss a few races, but we're going to skip the extrication process and skip to the end of the video. Alright, the extrication process is now complete, and the safety ambulance is now making its way to the Lego City Medical Center. And we did get a report from Dr. Wilkerson, aka the driver of Old School. The driver of Half and Half was unconscious when he arrived to the car, so they carefully extricated him by placing him on a backboard very, very delicately and carefully, so there's no further injury. But he is currently being taken to the Lego City Medical Center. That's all the info I can give. Once we get a update, there will be a generic news network segment on his condition. But man, what a mess of an end of a race this was. Shadow's car taking the worst damage, but the worst outcome for Half and Half because the seat came off somehow. It was on impact with the out of bounds area. So anyways, Voltco number 3 is the race winner, but he's choosing not to celebrate. Or actually, he can't celebrate. There's no choice whatsoever. But there's going to be a big cleanup process after this. So anyways, that'll do it for this edition of the CR7 Fleet Car Series race. Be sure to stay tuned for the generic news network segment if I don't forget to do it. So I can update you on the driver of Half and Half's condition. So, see you then.